Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Replay Mega Man Battle.2. I got this video out in about a week and a half-ish. In the last part we started the game off and got through the entirety of the first, scenario and a half, just about. And now we're gonna go invite our friends camping, because why not? Huh? Camping? Sorry, not today. Mom wants me to watch the house. But you know... Oh, Lan, you wanna take on my guts, man? I mean, we kinda beat your ass last time, but sure. And maybe I better wait till Gutsman gets a little stronger, okay? Ah, cowardice. Well, that and they think we're probably not ready to face Gutsman V2 yet, just mechanically. And they're kind of right in terms of getting, high ranks. There's a note. Gone on a trip around the world. Looks like she's getting back today sometime. Alright, 2 for 3. Here's hoping Mail will be of any help, and she's not at her house if you go check there. She is actually back to school. Did you know I come to school during vacation too? Since I'm here, I'll teach you about leveling up. To level up your Navi, you need to use a power-up program. HP memory raises your Navi's maximum HP, and power-up increases your weapon's strength. Choose what to power up under menu to Mega Man. Find power-ups inside mystery data or buy them from net shops. So this kind of goes into a behind-the-scenes thing I slightly brought up last time. There is a level for Mega Man there on the top right of the Mega Man screen. I think every HP memory raises it by 1, every power-up by 4, I want to say is how it goes. It only really matters when it comes to running away from memory, though. I've got homework for an Intellipian class to do. Sorry. Well, we're completely out of luck then. So, what do we do now? Darn it, everyone's too busy. It was all too spontaneous. You said it. What now? Well... Huh? Mail, want to read it? Sure. Attention, all Z license holders. The center's looking for CityNet battlers. Pass the license exam and be a CityNet battler. Take a chance, stop by the center in Marine Harbor. Hey, let's try. It wouldn't hurt us if we passed. Well, today's work is done, so... let's give it a go. Definitely. We'll talk to everyone about camp tomorrow. Yeah, that's better. So now we can officially go use the Metro line for the first time, and like in Battle Network 1/Operate Star Force, this is how we get from area to area, and it's a little bit clunky compared to what they would do in 4 Beyond, where the world map is just a menu. But in this game, well, first off, hello Birdbot from Mega Man Legends 2. We can come over here, select our destination, the Marine Harbor, and then go through the gates to be teleported over to there. Land, you've got mail. We do? Oh, let's camp. If it's tomorrow, I'll go camping. On the condition that I'm camp leader. Sure, Dex, sure. At least we got one of our friends in, even if it's a day later than we thought it would be. I probably should put this relatively here close to the front of the video, too. This is technically a very belated celebratory video, just like the last video was. This is the 300th subscriber video, technically, in that regard, even though we're almost 130 subs after that. Whoops. Hi there, this is Rabita with DNN News. Today I bring my battle report from Marine Harbor. Anyway, things are really happening. So kid, what about having a net battle with me, huh? Alright, sure. It's showtime. Action! Time for an optional boss for now against Toadman. Toadman, in case you have an electric elemental chip, which you can do to zappering on top of a couple of others, is water elementals used, and those can do double damage to him. Toadman's interesting that he's not initially damageable until he pops onto either of his lily pads on the top and bottom of the screen. While the lily pads move left and right, they send tadpoles out that can get you stunned and they'd be pretty open for an attack from Toadman himself. And like the Spookies, he will only be on a lily pad as long as you're not in the same row as him, unless you go up there when he's attacking or try to just jump into him. The lily pads patrolling left and right, he can hit you with an electric elemental attack with that note that tracks onto you. And if he hits you with that, or you get hit by the tadpoles, there's also a pretty good chance you'll follow up with a kind of a punch attack where he teleports to the panel in front of you. If you can time yourself well, this can be pretty easy, but if you're not good at timing, this is actually a pretty hard optional boss for this early in the game. And I would say his later variants are probably some of the hardest optional boss in the game. Is this my limit as a TV announcer? This is your fee. You earned it. And we got her code. Could be a main attraction, you know. Well, good news. We are for at least 7.5 games. So the Rivi code, you don't actually ever need from memory. Barring maybe one of the near endgame scenarios, you might need it just as a shortcut. But there's some things we can get in here. There's actually a couple new enemies in here as well now that I think about it. But this also allows us to access a new part of the den area. We got shell geeks here. Shell geeks cannot be damaged initially when their shells are closed, but the moment you get in a row with them, they open up and shoot out 2 needles in a row. The annoying thing about that is that means using things like guard isn't exactly the most effective against them, because you will probably only guard against the first of the needles. And if you do well enough against them, you get double needle, which is that exact attack on enemies. Water elemental too, if memory serves, so you can use that against fire elemental viruses and bosses to do double damage. Speaking of elements, here's another water elemental virus. These are shrimpies. They patrol their column, but the moment they get in the same row as you, they fire out their bubbler attack. Which is a bit interesting that there's fewer ways to guard against this than you'd think. This attack hits the panel you're on as well as the one behind you, and the battle chip you can get for them does the same thing. So in the case you're taking like refuge behind certain hazards and blocks that can take up certain panels in the stage in some environments, they can still damage you behind those. Elements. We've only had a couple elemental ships thus far, but there is a sort of a weakness chain in the Battle Network series. There are 4 main elements that are in all of the games, and then there's a secondary elemental chain that gets added down the line. There is Aqua, Fire, Wood, and Elec, and the weakness order is actually just as I described. Water does double damage to fire, does double damage to wood, does double damage to electricity, does double damage to aqua. And there's an Elec elemental chip, Elec sword, that is a wide sword that does 100 electric elemental damage. I actually put that in my chip folder eventually later this part because it's just, even though it's not very coded with what I got, it's good enough for damage that's worth it. That there was our first purple mystery that we need an unlocker subchip to open that, but more importantly, we can buy a power-up here at this net dealer. We go into the Mega Man menu, we can allocate this into any of the 3 stats we want. Each stat maxes out at 5. I'm focusing on attack, so now Mega Man's Buster Shots will do 2 damage. I would recommend early on in the game focusing on upgrading your attack and your charge, because there's a way around Rapid that you've seen me doing a good bit by this point, where you can fire your Mega Buster and then tap left or right to move to the next panel immediately, and that refreshes the cooldown on the Mega Buster faster than it would be if you stood in the same place at this point in the game. Down the line, when your Rapid is upgraded, it is faster than that if memory serves, but for now, it's more worth going for the attack and charge. So this is the upper part of Den Area 3. We're on the lower portion earlier, and this actually gives us a shortcut to the square as well. This is another improvement from Battle Network 2. The networks in this game, especially like the main internet network, looks different overall, but they actually gave a color shift for higher up areas to help navigation, because a big problem in the first Battle Network is that literally every part of the internet looked the same, and they went hard on that in 2 Beyond. Also, a second ago, we got the spreader chip. That's like the shotgun chip, only it hits the panel you're targeting as well as all 8 around it. We'll be collecting those as we go because there's a program advance tied to those, and obviously I used Gut Shoot a moment ago, which is a returning program advance from Battle Network 1, which is Guard, Dash, Gutsman, G all in a row. And that's 400 damage straight in a line. Pretty good at this point in the game for boss fights. It'll get outclassed with a different G code down the line, but it's probably good to have around all the same. Am I going to rely on it nearly as much as I did in Battle Network 1/Operate Star Force? Not so much, but it'll be around for a bit. Welcome to the center. What do you want? Oh, you're not applying for a license. Yes, I am. But you must still be in grade school. Show me your PET. All right. Oh, you've got a Z license. I'm sorry I doubted you. The test hall is through that hall, past that counter. All right, sure. And there is also a subship dealer here if you want to buy anything. Notably, this is the first one you can buy a locate enemy from, which makes it easier to encounter the enemy you just encountered. And there's some scenarios where that's going to be very useful in late game. Got an exam card to go right through here. Get used to seeing this room, by the way. We're going to be in here a lot through the game, main game and post game. That's a test card. You're testing too? I'll open the door. Go in and jack yourself in. Alright, welcome to the main network room for the square. This is a direct way into the main part of the Den area square. There is a faster way in here technically, and that's just a machine to the northeast of the coffee machine we were in a few moments ago, but This brings us right here into the main square. At last, the test. It makes me feel nervous. Me too. Now you know why I hate studying? You're just trying to take the blame off yourself. Not so. Come on, let's take it. Oh, Lan, you... Okay, I'm all set. Don't let me down. Leave it to me. Lan, you've got mail. Oh, who's this one from? The nerve. I just got back from a round-the-world trip. Then again, I should mingle with the commoners, so I'll go. I guess we got 2 people for camping. I'm the B license examiner. So you're here for the test, huh? There are 3 problems. If you pass, I'll give you a B license. Problem number 1. Problem 1 is a survival battle. Delete the viruses that appear 5 times to pass. No HP recovery is allowed during play, so be careful. Before starting and after each new problem, I'll renew your HP. Are you ready? Yeah? Straight and simple, we have to do 5 virus battles in a row against enemies from the den area. Metars, Canodumps, like a B-tank or 2 in there somewhere. They say no HP recovery is meant during play, but that means that you won't get HP recovery between each of the fights. You can still use HP recovery battle chips if you have any. So that's a little bit misleading, but not a lot to worry about. Congratulations, nice work. Now for problem 2. Problem 2 tests whether you can help people in need. I have info that a Navi needs help in this den area. Please locate the Navi and provide assistance. Once you've done it, please return here to me. That's problem 2. Want me to repeat? Nah, I'm good. Well, then get to it. Okay, so they are pretty vague about where we need to go, but there's not many den areas you can explore, so it's just a matter of finding which place they want you to go to overall. And they want us to go to Den Area 3, but specifically the top portion of it near the exit to Den Area 2 that's up here. Eventually, I think I even start doing it later this part, I am going to start jump cutting around the internet if it's places we've already been to. The main thing I'll show along the way, in case I'm having to do a long distance jump cut like that, is a new virus battle, or a virus battle where I get a battle chip we haven't gotten yet, because I do need to get all 250 of those by the end of this LP. And while I'm here, I might as well grab an HP memory, because I got enough Zenny. The better move, admittedly, there probably would have been to save up enough money for an unlocker, though. A bad guy stole my walking program. Now I can't walk. You look friendly. Would you mind getting it back? Yeah. Thanks. I'm counting on you. Lan, you've got mail. Ah, great. Who do we got again? Oh, mail! I just finished my homework, so sure, I'll go camping tomorrow. 3 for 3, baby! And from here, they're once again very vague on where you need to go, but again, Den area is not that big. In particular, we need to head towards the Den 1 exit of Den 2. Not too far, thankfully, and by now you're probably getting either a good amount of chips or some decent Zenny out of the battle, just because getting Gutsman V1 at the end of the last part is very essential for killing a lot of enemies in this area pretty quickly. Lock program. Our cover's blown. Get him. And now we need to fight 3 B tanks, which we've already done before, so this is where I introduce how we're going to be handling battles that are sort of repeats like this. We're just going to speed them up like we did the 5 rounds before. I'll give it back, so give me a break. Easy. Now let's take that walking program to the Navi. Off to the Navi. Only no, we're going the exact opposite direction because there's something I want to do in Den Area 1, not too far from Lan's PC. What we're about to do spawns as soon as you've slept after completing the gas heater computer scenario. And we want to come over to this corner, right near where Lan's PC is, save in case I mess up, and walk up here for our rematch against Airman. Airman V2 in particular, where his damage is boosted and he moves faster, that's about it. Like in Battle Network 1 and Operate Star Force, this is how the game handles refighting scenario boss fights that are located at a set location within an area relative to where you fought them. That's why Airman is here in Den 1. And their stats will be boosted and all that. But after you've beaten this variant, you're not done yet, but we'll talk more about that in a few moments. By and large, most of the V2 fights are pretty easy, and you're always going to get a good reward out of them no matter what, because beating the V2 version, I think, is guaranteed to give you that particular Navi's battle chip. And I really want Airman's because it's really good. It doesn't look like it does a lot of damage, but it does a lot more than you would think. Especially if you're good about using it. But a good old gut shoot will take that boss down a couple of pegs, and we've won. And that's going to give us the Airman battle chip as well as an S rank, I think. Airman's battleship is a little bit deceptive. It only does 40 damage to start, but what it does is it summons the 3 tornadoes that he used in the boss fight in the 3 panels in front of wherever you summon him. If you summon those tornadoes on top of a virus, they'll hit the moment they spawn and the moment he sends them forward, so you can do 80 damage with that if you place it properly, and with the later variants of that battleship, you can do some pretty good damage. That's my walk program. Thank you. Will you please accept this? Nice, stated. Sure. I can walk again. Thank you. So now we're good to head back to the square. And the fastest way to do that at this point is just to jack out, because this is right where I am. Oh, you brought nice data. You passed. You cleared problem 2. Congrats. Nice work. Now for problem 3. Problem 3 is another survival battle. Delete the viruses that appear 5 times to pass. No HP recovery is allowed during play, so be careful. Before starting and after each problem, I'll renew your HP. Well then, are you ready? You got 5 more fights to do, but we actually aren't going to fast forward all these because we got some new enemies this time around, namely Megaman.exe. Megaman.exe are stronger and faster Megaman 1s, as most virus upgrades tend to be, but they highlight something different about the Megaman line moving forward. Future variants of the Metars are all going to act the way the Megaman.exe do, in that if there's more than one of them paired with any of the other Megaman viruses in the game, in a battle, when they're not actively trying to attack Megaman, they'll hide beneath their helmet, which there are some ways you can get past, but they're pretty far and few between. Most battleships or buster shots are just going to bounce right off of those helmets. Makes you wonder why we can hit them otherwise. Maybe we're just aiming for the eyeballs. But yeah, this is the only reason we're showing this fight at full speed is so I can showcase that exact way that Metars are going to work moving forward. So since they start at the bottom, that one's completely shielded, and as you can see, Megaman 2's shockwaves go a lot faster. I'm going to really want to upgrade to those battleships when I can eventually get them from these fights, but I don't think we're going to be able to get a battleship from them until a little bit further. I forget exactly when because I'm recording the gameplay for this one as I do it. With that said, there is one more new enemy to talk about here in these 5 battles. We have to get to the last battle to do that. And while these are stronger viruses than what you're used to at this point in the game, because they're all based off of ones you've already fought, you should know how to deal with them pretty easily, like Canodums, stay out of the row, target one at a time, all that kind of jazz. And our new virus here is the Hardhead. They basically are made out of Megaman shells because when they're not attacking, you can't damage them whatsoever. You know, they're going to attack when one of their heads starts shaking, which point they'll shoot out there, I think it's like a cannonball is the name of the attack, which does decent damage, but it'll either crack the panel if it hits you, or it'll just break the panel if you dodge it. And they can get through attacks like Guard if you're trying to do a reflect strategy back at them, so they can be a little tricky to mess with. What's especially annoying about them is because they're only vulnerable at certain points, getting good ranks to get their battleship can be tricky without certain setups. We'll be finding them in a way to get the battleship down the line, as we will with everything that has a battleship, really. By and large, every enemy has a battleship that matches it, but there's a couple of standouts that are a little weird throughout the series. Once you get only one hardhead left in this battle, though, it's just a matter of waiting. And there's a couple of battle types in the game that can just be waiting games. One of them might be Belated's part. Congrats, you passed all the problems. And we got our B license. Ask me about details of B license, I'm always here. Here's a little something extra, please take it. Hey, I'll take a reg up. I did it! Way to go, Mega Man. Yeah, that took a while. Shall we go home? Lan, you got mail. Who's this one from? Oh, Chad. Been a bit? It's been a while, Lan. But as an official net battler, I had neither the time nor the inclination to go camping. Go by yourself. Still a dick, I see. Cool. Want to hear about the B license? Sure. Let's begin. Now you have a B license, you're a city net battler. You're now allowed to net battle to settle net crimes. That means you can accept requests from citizens as well. Check the request board at the center for the newest ones. A B license doesn't allow increased access to areas, but an A license allows you to freely visit foreign nets. I wish you good luck in keeping peace in the net. So that's not just like a speech about us being able to do stuff in the story. Now we can actively use this board here to tackle side quests. Could you please find a lost girl, a relative of mine? I'm waiting at the school in AC/DC Town. So, the structure for the side quests, whenever they have these in the games, are kind of annoying. You have to accept the request, go to the person, figure out what you need to do, and then head to a completely different place usually to do the request, and then go back to the person to get the rewards. But they're worth doing because you usually either get some good battleships out of them or other power-up type programs. And sometimes you just get good Zenny, and hey, I'm never going to say no to that. This is going to be one of those cases where when we do more of these, we're going to do a lot more jump cutting. Lan, you're the one taking my request? What a surprise. Well, here's the problem. My cousin came to visit, see? And now she's gone off somewhere and I can't find her. I'm worried and I was hoping you could go look for her. She's a clever girl, not like me at all. She might even have gone someplace on the metro line. Who knows where she'll wind up if we don't find her. All you have to do is find out where she is and tell me. Thanks, Lan. I'm counting on you. And just to be straight up, she is not too far from Rabita here in the main part of Marine Harbor. I wonder if Sis is looking for me. Sis is such a worrywart. She knows I can take care of myself. Tell her I'll be back after I look about a little more. You are 4. I know that's not saying much because Lan and group are like 11 at most, but come on. What? Marine Harbor? And she rode the line all by herself? I'm glad you found her, Lan. Here's your reward. And for doing that, we get a pretty easy to get reg up one. I know I can count on you, Lan. And from there, let's go tackle the other side quests. Because this is 100% LP, I am going to be doing all of these side quests probably the moment they're unlocked, which means we're probably going to have some weird pacing down the line. And you can get words of thanks from your employer. Lan, thank you, you're the best. I'm not going to be showing all those off, though. Let's tackle at the cafe. I'm waiting in the cafe with an ocean view. I'll explain the job to you in person. There's some danger involved, so your navvy must be strong. Accept this job? Yeah, this is also a pretty quick one. And that's thankfully also pretty close because we can just go out this door and they're about 25 feet away-ish. I wrote the request. You'll take the job, right? I knew at a glance you're no ordinary kid. I want a certain navvy deleted. It'll be hiding in the net's den city. It's spreading viruses to programs everywhere. Let me know when you finish the job. It's nasty, so you know when you see it. Good luck. Nasty navvies, by the way, are the purple ones. But I'm going to take a bit of a long way around here because even though the net navvy is actually near the den area entrance to the den square, I want to come over here. I saw a strong looking navvy delete another one. There wasn't any operator. The fight just broke out. You should be careful too. That spawns after you've defeated Airman's net navvy, or V2 here in den area 1. The main reason I've come this way towards the Land's PC is to talk about how you fight a V3 net navvy. They are random encounters that spawn after you jack out and back into the internet. In particular, I think Airman V3 is a 12% encounter here in Den Area 3, or Den Area 1, and I figured I might as well try to get the battleships out of it. I don't think I end up doing it, but this is how I'm going to be tackling any future net navies, V3 at least, is I'm going to be speeding it up because at that point, you've seen the fight twice, it's only a damage upgrade, so there's not a lot to worry about. The main reason you might want to do this, outside of getting the battleships, is also because net navies, even in random encounter form, do give more Zenny on average than most other fights in the game. What's this? Want to tangle with me? You want to get deleted by my virus attack, huh? You want to take me on? You're toast. Take this. And we got a new virus in this battle, the Met Fire, which stands for, I believe, Meteor Fire. They're going to move completely randomly along the enemy side of the field. They can teleport to anywhere there. But after a few movements, they're going to kind of curl up into a donut, sort of like a cat does, and start bringing down meteors down on your side of the field at random. They fire 9 of them, and they do some decent damage, but they're completely open when they do their attack. Usually. There are certain elements in the field that can block your shots from hitting them in certain areas, and if those hazards exist, they will try to hide behind them as a way to prevent them from being an easy target. With that said, having some attacks like mini bombs or little bombs around can help mitigate that issue completely. Not hard navvies, but if certain later variants of them, when paired with certain other enemies, can be quite troublesome. And that navvy's deleted, so now we can go talk to the person who gave us the mission and get a reward. I'm going to be walking out just in case I fight Airman V3 again as another chance to get the battleship, but I did not. Oh, you did it. Thank you. I'm an official, but we can't let the bad guys see our faces, so I recruited you as City Net Battler, and you did it. Here's your reward. Take it. And we get an HP memory. Very worth it. You look sharp. Better than Chad. I mean, I did beat his ass last game at least 5 times-ish, getting the battleships. So now that we have our B license, we're done with this day. we can head back and go to sleep and move on to the next scenario. If you want to do any chip grinding right now, you can, and I would recommend it, but I don't really have anything I could do besides maybe getting more airman chips. And that's not really worth it until I get a better folder at the moment. Then, when Lan and Megaman went to sleep. Huh? This writing. What's wrong? Proto Man. Look, Chad. Writing like this. Displayed on the PET. K. People of Electopia, tomorrow you will see Gospel's might. Many victims. Be warned. A crime notice? Huh, punks. Writing trash. Proto Man. Use our official authorization to erase that. Probably false info, but some might take it seriously. Huh. Gospel. Could it be connected with that secret file? Nah, I'm thinking too much. Lan! Lan! Hey, Lan! Lan! Come on, Lan! Wake up! Camp time! We'll be late! Mega Man learning camp? Yeah, camp! Morning, Mega Man. We're late meeting everyone. Hurry, hurry! Really? Let's move. Man, you got mail. Man, we're getting mail all over the place today. You're late? Oh boy. Lan, you're late. Now listen good, Run. I order you to be at the bus stop in 5 minutes or we're moving out. Ha, joke's on them. The bus literally doesn't show up until we talk to all 3 of them. The campsite's near a river, isn't it, Lan? There's been a lot of rain, so watch out for flooding. Kinda reminds me of a story from my day in the Boy Scouts when there was a giant thunderstorm by the camp, but that's a story for another day. You finally here, Lan? Man, we've been waiting forever. Ah, well, at least you're here now. Now, what time is it? Right, it's camp time. Woohoo, yeah! Good, so you're excited. Hey, you're late. The campsite's in Okaden Valley, so we're going by bus. The problem with camping is all the dirt. But I will admit it is fun, even if it is somewhat unrefined. Hey, the bus is here, guys. I love that bus sprite. I don't know why. You barely get to see it in these games, but it's really cute. Alright, it's camp time. Whoopee! Yay! Kids. Yeah, you're the youngest of them by about a 2-year gap if memory serves. You don't have room to talk, girl. This is it, Okaden Valley. Let's find that campground. Okay. Oh boy, I hate this area for reasons we'll get into down the line. Chad? Oh, decided to come along after all, did you? Chad? I thought you weren't coming. Well, if you wanted to come, why didn't you just say so? I'm not here because I wanted to be with you, okay? There you go again. Do you not like having fun? Lan, he's come all the way here now, so be nice. And Chad, let's all try to get along, okay? Yeah, if you say so, fine. See, Chad's nice when he's talking to Mail. Okay, Lan? Whatever. Yo, guys, you're forgetting I'm camp leader around here. Okay, so no more fussing and let's get going. Ooh. Alright, Okaden Valley is really unique out of all the areas in the game mechanically and progression-wise. But the main reason I dislike this area is what they do with it with side quests down the line. But that's more for then than now. You guys camping? Yeah. The rule around here is pack out your trash. Remember it. Alright, sure. Bees! The bee swarm is coming at you. You can't shake them. What do we do? Hey, this is the only way back to the campsite. Lan is leader. I order you to do something about this mess. So what we need to do here is find 3 hidden items around the area. There are lots of rocks of various sizes around here. If you look, you can see a lighter stuck between 2 rocks. Do we pick it up? Yes, we do. It does take a while to find these on our first playthrough, probably, but there's not many things you can investigate. There's no foothold, so this may be as far as you can go. But if you look, you can see a bit of a stick on the rocks. Do we pick it up? Yes, we do. There's a couple of cases where you have to do stuff like this in the game, and it is a little annoying in some regards. It's a tall cedar tree. If you look, you can see a newspaper in the tree branches. Do we take it? Yeah, let's declutter and delitter. Yo, Lan, let's use that stuff we picked up on these bees. Which one should we use? We want to use all of them. Right, we'll wrap the paper around the stick and light it. Good old smoke on bee strategy. Take that, bees! Lan, be careful. I like to imagine she's saying that not because he's trying to scare away the bees, but because he could set the forest on fire. See, Pace listens to the camp leader. Let's go. Dex, you were really obsessed with being a leader. And now that I think about it, given some certain dialogue in one of the Star Force games, that kind of tracks later into his life now that I think about it. Huh. So, if there's something I can recommend doing in the game from Okadin onwards, is whenever you're walking around, just tapping the R button, because there's times where you can jack into things that you just won't know unless you actively examine them. You probably should be examining things on a first playthrough just to find out if you can, but mashing the R button helps a little bit with that. So, there's no new viruses in this area from memory. But something that is a first in here is, you remember those hazards I've been talking about throughout this part and the last part that can block certain attacks? You can run into the first one of them here, rocks. Enemies can hide behind them, you can break them, but they take a lot of punishment before that happens. They're kind of annoying to work around in some cases. And you're going to be encountering those throughout basically the rest of this plot scenario. What? This is bad. I'm going home. Actually, I wet my pants. I have that line. Lan, what should we do? Guys, get with it, okay? Let's get out of here. So now, what we need to do to get past that bear is come over here. It's dark and damp behind the falls. It's freezing. You think there's something shiny, but you're not sure. Try to pick it up. And we got some binoculars. Why is this useful? Get close to the bear. Hey, Lan, look at the bear again with the binoculars. You picked up. Okay. What the? What now? Let me have a peek. It's a fake! But it's as fierce as they come. Doesn't appear to move, but could be programmed to attack. Someone needs to jack in and put a stop to the bear. Too scared, huh? Fine, I'll go. It's one of the few times we actually see Chad hesitate at doing anything, now that I think about it. Now, there are new viruses here in the bear computer. In fact, I think doing the storyline fight we need to do when we talk to the Mr. Program in here will trigger one of those fights. This bear was made as a mascot for the park. He used to be really cute. The kids just loved him. Other programs were jealous. We were proud of our job, but one day everything changed. That's right, our bear got a virus. Since then he's turned violent. He's even hurt people. It's heartbreaking to think about it. We were brought and deserted here deep in the mountains. And the bear still has a virus. There it is. These are spikies. They move around the field completely randomly for about 3 hops, but on their 4th or 5th one, they'll get in a row with you and fire their shot all at once if there's multiple of them, which means they're very easy to line up. The shot works like a fire elemental bubbler, and so does their actual battleship. Hits the panel you hit and the one behind it. Yes! Not yet. Oh, it finally shut up. Hey, let's put it by the roadside so others won't be scared. Good idea. Right, so you can just scare people who are walking forward and don't see it. Gotcha. Finally made it. Yeah. Alright everyone, camp means barbecue time. Begin preparations. Dismissed. So now we have a little bit of a side quest section, sort of, where we need to talk to everyone. The gas stove's 2 weeks, so I'm looking for kindling. Yo, Lan, you're going to help find wood for kindling too. Everyone needs an item, we need to find where that item is. What does Yai need, for instance? Meat is okay, I guess, but I really like fish. Do something about it, Lan. I want to cut the veggies, but I forgot the cutting knife. Could you see if we can borrow one? Alright, now we need to talk to 3 other NPCs, but there are notably some computers you can jack into around here, namely this grill. You can go and find Chad, but I actually don't go and talk to him. If you want to do that, you can only really do that right now before we progress in plot. You want to head towards the the southwest of the map, and there's another room you can get into. He's over there, I think. we got a new enemy here. These are flamies. These are really annoying viruses to fight. The way they work is whenever you get in a row with them, they hesitate a second before going off screen, and then they crash up and down through your panels, completely breaking that row of them. Which means until you have a way to potentially walk on said panels down the line, you're not going to be able to damage unless you have some long-ranging Navi chips or something like that. I do not like fighting flamies. Them and their later variants are probably two of my least favorite virus types to fight in the game. And especially because if you mess up, you're just so far out of range of them. And hey, there's a free bubbler at the least, so that's in my library. I'm going to need to get other chip codes of it down the line, though, for program advanced reasons' sake. What, you've got a cutting knife? Okay, you can use mine. There's a male's knife. Here, use it. Let's get ourselves some kindling. You want firewood? Chop, 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 chop. There. Before your eyes, a pile of kindling rises up high. And there's the firewood. And the old man is dying. You want to catch fish, too? Okay, let's see if you can do as I say. What? You caught a bear fish with your hands. And there's the fish. How's that for coaching? So we got everything we need for plot. Let's give everyone their items. Our report for today is coming from soccer camp. What do you mean they're not playing soccer here? And if you didn't yet, you can fight Toadman here, but you're not going to be able to fight him again for a while because we beat V1. You borrowed a cutting knife. Thank you, Lan. Oh, it's fish. You are good. I'll have this. And finally, let's give Dex that kindling. Oh, thanks. That barbecue looks just about ready. Let's chow. Speaking of chow, where'd that chod get to? Don't look at me. Who cares anyway? Let's see. Now, Lamb, what did I tell you about being nice? Okay, male. Do you have an idea where he went? Well, if nobody knows, we'll just have to wait here, right? I guess. All right, let's eat. Here's to barbecue. Yay! So I said, and they were all... No way. Huh? What was that? Mail? Any e-news bulletins? It's no good. We're out of range here. Lan, that explosion sounded like it came from Okuden Dam. If the dam broke, the water would come this way. You serious? We gotta get out of here. Wait, what are we gonna do about that Chod kid? Oh man, that's right, that dummy. I'll go look for him. You all get to safety, okay? Lan, be careful, and come back quick. No sweat. Don't worry about me. Lan, let's roll. Well, gotta give them credit. Battletoads 2's early game scenarios are definitely higher stake than the ones at this point in BN1. That explosion came from the dam. It seems to be holding but one more blast and... Get out of here. Sorry, dude, but we have to come over to the dam to look for our friend? Their rival, I guess is a better way to say it. The last explosion wrecked part of the dam. I sense that there will be another blast, and when that happens, the dam will burst, so I'm getting out of here. Probably a good idea, but if you need any sub-chips at this point in the game, you can go grind some viruses for Zenny and get some around here. Not that you're going to need unlockers, but full energies and mini energies might be useful. A boy went to the damage control center and hasn't come out. Should we save him or should we run? I mean, here, in the best case scenario, you probably should try to save everyone. Maybe not abandon an 11-year-old inside of an exploding dam. You're asking if I blew up the dam? No, it wasn't me. Perish the thought. That area's off limits to non-personnel. If he said that, it means Chod might be here. Darn, what's that guy up to now? Lan, it's from Chod. Hey, you in there? What are you doing at a time like this? Yeah, I'm inside the dam, but shut up and listen. Last night there was an ad on the board in the square. So I came to camp to recon the incident. I found a time bomb set to explode in the dam. No way! I'll be right there. Open the door. Calm yourself down. I need you for something else. There are several remote detonator receptors in the bombs. Find the detonators and delete their explosion programs. Think you're capable of handling that? Don't insult me. With Mega Man here, that's a cinch. Fine, but this is my job as an official. I'll go there after all the bombs are taken care of. Until then, find as many detonators as you can. Leave it to me. Let's do this, Mega Man. And thus now we can go into the scenario computer. And there's something about this scenario I recall being able to do, but I actually haven't tested in a long time. I probably should have messed around here in a little bit to try and do it. And that's, I think you can do some of the early portions of this in a slightly different order if you wanted to. Because as Shot's saying in this email, there's 4 bombs we need to find, and the 4th one's always the final one, but I think you might be able to do the first 3 in different orders. What's a PET doing lying around here? Let's check into it. You need to look for anything that looks out of place throughout the 3 main campground areas for the computer. Well, found anything? This is a detonator for a bomb, alright. I'll bet there's a detonation program here somewhere. That and Lan, I'm picking up a virus, a tough one. Roger. Be careful, Mega Man. Right. Land, mail, some shot again. What do you got to say now? Look for a round monitor inside the detonator. The detonation program should be controlled there. The rest is up to your navvy. I like how that email basically translates to, get to the end of the area. No shit, Sherlock. So, the gimmick in the detonator computers is a lot less outwardly intrusive than the gas and the gas heater comp was. We essentially need to reach data address 00 from wherever you start. How you need to get there, though, is a bit of a maze, and we also got some new enemies here, such as the handy viruses. These guys are interesting. They might start in various places in the field, but they move to the front line of their field to place a bomb in the front line of your field, which counts down from 3 down to 0 and then explodes, doing very heavy damage. But you can destroy the bombs preventing them from exploding, and until the bombs are supposed to explode, the handies do not move at all. So they're very easy to take out, and honestly, the battle chip, even though it's really coded really poorly, because it's like a Z code, I think, it does enough damage that it might be worth having around, honestly. The gimmick in this area, though, is, while it looks like you can take any pathway to get to the end, most of the paths have holes in them that'll just get blown up the moment you approach them. Which means that there's really only one path to take, and because the scenario itself doesn't actively damage you with its mechanic or force you backwards, barring some cases if you went the wrong direction, this is honestly a pretty chill scenario to get through. The biggest threat is that you'll get into more random encounters. Plus, we can find some chips like Cannon C here, which allows us to access another 2 program advances, actually, even though I don't think I have an ingredient for one of the other ones at the moment. And we've already reached the end of Computer 1. A round monitor. The detonation program is sent from here. Mega Man, stop the detonation program from being sendable. I did it! Great, let's check out and look for our next detonator. This one took me some time to find on my first playthrough. Because it's not exactly as out of place as it looks. Land, jack into this detonator that looks like a canteen. I guess the mentality is supposed to be that the characters that were standing there didn't take it with them, so it might be out of place, but Also, if you're wondering what that jump cut was for there, I originally intended to end the recording here, but I realized, I should probably just finish the scenario. Which good, because that got me closer to the hour mark I want these videos to be. So another thing with the bomb computers is more so involving the battles themselves. You can find some of the rocks that I mentioned during the Stone Guardian computer about 10 minutes ago-ish in the battles here, but you'll occasionally also see bombs on either side of the field. Those are interesting in that while they can absorb just damage and prevent you from shooting enemies or enemies from shooting you, if a fire elemental attack hits them, they blow up the side of the field they're on, doing mass damage. So if you want to, I'd actually recommend taking some of the flame shot chips you can get from viruses around here, the spikies that we showed off earlier, and throwing them into your folder to take advantage of those bombs while you're here. Also, that's the Flamies battle chip line out. It's panel out for an entire row in front of you. Not exactly super useful. I'm not even sure if it's in a program advance, but hey, I got it, so that's one less chip I have to get down the line at least. So the third detonator's a little rough to find. You need to look where the binoculars were earlier. See, there's a PET down there, and it wasn't there before. Let's jack in and find out. That's one of the few times I'm like, why would you know to look behind there besides the fact you already had to? And it makes me wonder if that's the entire reason they made you look behind there for the binoculars to begin with. Kinda iffy. There's a couple of parts of BN2 that are still iffy, but it is a better designed and more approachable game overall than Battle Network 1 was, I find, at least in retrospect. It's rough because Battle Network 1 does have some kind of key story stuff, especially regarding Lan and Mega Man's relationship. But mechanically, it's just so hard to recommend to people. Like, Star Force 1 has some problems on its own, but it's a much easier to recommend game than Battle Network 1 could ever be. Mostly because they're still leaping off of their knowledge in the Battle Network games when they get to Star Force. Once you know the real path through the invisible dead ends, though. This scenario computer isn't too long because it's very unintrusive. If anything, the annoying thing is sometimes the explosions just go off because there's a mystery data too close to them. Lan. Chad, how's the situation over there? Don't worry about me. Listen up. I analyzed the bomb and it's only short range. So all the detonators should be within this vicinity. The person who did this must love causing chaos. He's probably carrying the last switch himself. Lan, find him quick. Gotcha. Alright, so now we need to approach the villain of this scenario, which if you've been paying attention to any of the sprites in this area, you probably immediately gleaned onto who it is, because they have a dialogue portion when none of the other NPCs do. Hello! You're looking for the bomber? Well, I don't know about it. Are you sure about that, Mr. Dialogue Portrait? Not even if you keep asking. Well, I might know. That's mighty suspicious. You suspect me? Oh, well, someone's bound to find out eventually. You're right. I, Dave, am the bomber. It seems nice, if a bit harsh, but you tricked us. Sorry about that, but the real fault lies with you folks. For ruining Okuden Valley's beauty when dumping trash here. Wouldn't destroying the dam destroy the valley's beauty? Any moment now, the dam will burst and we in Den City downstream will all be underwater. All that's left is for Quickman to set the bomb program. If you think you can stop us, jack into my PET. You'll fail. No one can stop Quickman and me. We'll just have to try it and see. I'm fighting for all our futures. Let's do it, Mega Man. Lan, that line is very out of an endgame scenario more so than the second scenario. I guess you have grown up a little bit since the first game. And Detonator Computer 4 is the same as the other ones, it's just much bigger. In fact, the main quote-unquote gimmick with this version of it is that you need to kind of do a loop around the center of the arena to get to the end, because the end is like just to the right of the start. I guess just to the north, but you can't access it for reasons. But there's the Meteor Fire ship, Meteor 9. It rains down 9 meteors randomly on the enemy side of the screen. I think it does decent enough damage, and I want to say you can limit which panels it'll land on if you use things like Line Out or Panel Out. So you might be able to make it focus more on opponents, especially boss fights, but it's not really worth it to me overall. Especially because even then, if you wanted to, later variants can be much more useful for it. Belated 2 in general does a good job of having its battleships all have later variants for the most part, like a V2 and a V3. And in most cases, the V3 are always going to be the most useful out of any of them just because of their damage, although sometimes the coding is a little worse. Also, free power up there, so I've now put a point into charge. It means now Mega Man can charge his Buster. Back in Battle Network 1, you could charge by default and you had 2 levels of charge. In BN2 and 3, you only have 1 level of charge, and here in BN2 in specific, it does 5 times your attack stat if memory serves. Speaking of which, from memory, I actually forgot to mention this last time. They also nerfed how fast your Buster shot in terms of rapid to start in BN2 compared to BN1. You start off really slow in this one in that regard. With that said, time for the boss. Quickman, you're not sending that detonation program. Fine. Stop me, if you can keep up with me. I'm out of here. Hold on a second, Quickman. These are just kids. We should teach them a lesson. For their benefit, of course. Yeah, a quick lesson. Let's fight. Mega Man, be careful. This guy's speedy. Battle routine set. Execute. So Quickman, get this, is very fast. In fact, he's so fast, he'll counter any attack you hit him with his, I guess, little arm boomerangs as a shield. After waiting a while, he'll move several times in a row and then attack, but after he attacks, particularly when he's in this pose, is when he's very open to damage. So you just need to kind of go on a defensive counterattack strategy for this particular boss fight. And there's a couple of those in the games to begin with. I'd say maybe at least each game has 1 or 2 of them. What makes Quickman so annoying is his V2 and 3 variations, but we'll talk about those probably starting next part if I had to guess. So this is the new program advance we unlocked by getting Cannon C's Zeta Cannon. Upon using it, you are invisible and thus invincible for about 5 seconds, and you can spam as many cannons as you can get in during that phase. And I want to say it does multiple cannon shots worth of damage at a time. Against some viruses, it's honestly a really reliable program advance. Against bosses, for the most part, not so much. But it's still good. The later variants especially can bring some pretty good pain. But cannons in the long run are probably not going to be in our folder for too much longer, barring the addition of certain other A-chip codes. Or A-chip code chips. Quickman used to give me a lot of trouble as a kid because I couldn't quite figure out the fact I had to counterattack him more so than go on the aggressive. Because I guess I was just dumb as a kid, which I've covered many times throughout my LPs. The funny thing is, though, if you get Guts shooting your folder, you get that turn 1, you can just S-rank this fight no problem, because it does exactly as much damage as he has HP. And I love it when I can do that to boss fights, it's always kind of funny. And we get some good Zenny for beating him as usual. But wait! Deleting me was a big mistake! Quickman is the detonation program! Delete him, and the bomb on the dam goes boom boom! We'll all drown together! Quickman, do what you have to do. My life's been good and quick. 3, 2, 1! Megaman! Huh? Wasn't the dam supposed to blow up? Proto-Man! John, his humble servant Proto-Man, reporting. Lan, if you're alive, say something. John! Looks like we just made it in time. Proto-Man and I took off that bomb back at the dam. And that guy's navvy went out with a whimper, not a bang. How could 2 kids beat me, future head of gospel? IQ 170. Your IQ of 170 didn't help you this time. Speedy Dave, on a suspicion of attempted bombing, I arrest you on my authority as an official net battler. You can tell the police all about you in gospel. I would have gotten away with it too, you scheming kids. Well, there's no need to camp with you anymore. See ya. Proto-Man, I'm jacking you out. Yes, sir. On the scene with a live interview with a meritorious boy. What a great deed. How does it feel to save many lives? I was just frantic and wasn't thinking about the lives. Don't be so humble, Lan. We're all watching. That's right. You're a brave little hero. But Chad's the real hero here. Lan. But that official net battler is nowhere to be found. Besides, you and your navvy beat the evil navvy, right? Yeah. Well then, stick your chest out and be proud. Brave young Lan, thanks for being with us. The Net Mafia Gospel is rumored to be involved with this. Can officials in our country oppose this gospel? We hope they take measures to ensure our safety. This has been Rabita, reporting live at the scene. First Arashi and now Dave. Well, they were just bottom ranks anyway. The world will soon know the true power of gospel. Dark, your time to shine has arrived at last. Pay me enough, and I'll do whatever you want me to. Anything? Finally, I do enjoy working with professionals. Whoa. You sleepy, Lamb? That was a mega yawn there, buddy. I was thinking about what to do my free research project on. Why do we always have projects to do? It's vacation! Why don't you do it on something you're interested in? Something I'm interested in? Huh? What's that? Random balloon. It's a balloon. Something's tied to the string. Looks like chip data. Megaman, can you check it for me? Okay, just a sec. Well, looks like foreign data. There's text. Wow, data from a foreign country? What's it say? I'll try to translate it, okay? Start translation program. Bleep. Translation done. It looks like some kind of letter. Will you be my pen pal? That's what it says. A pen pal? That could be fun. What country is it from? From the format, I'd say it's from Yumland. Yumland? You mean the place famous for its good food?
That's it?
Don't shout like that. You scared me half to deletion.
So, what's it?
I've decided on a subject for my research project. Hey, that's great. So, what's it gonna be? I'll study the great foods of the world. Well, I can't imagine anything that would fit you more. But that does sound like a lot of fun. You should do it. Mega Man, we can check out Yumland on the net. The person who sent that letter can tell us about the food there. And if we make friends and get to go to Yumland, think of all the food we can eat. Quick, let's get home and jack into the net. Yumland, here we come. You seem awfully excited. But okay, we're going to Yumland. Alright, but with that, I'm gonna need to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching, and in part 3, when I get to recording it, we're gonna head on to the next major country in the game, or at least attempt to. See you guys then.